Once upon a time, Star Wars was the heartbeat of pop culture. A saga that united generations, inspired endless debate, and made movie premieres feel like global holidays. But now, the Force feels more like a faint Wi-Fi signal than a cosmic power. So this begs the million-dollar question: does anyone give a shit about Star Wars anymore?
I don't care.
Is there still hope for redemption? Grab yourself a drink, you're gonna need it for this one, and hopefully it's something a little bit more palatable than that milky blue shit Luke guzzles like a hungry infant.
Just like tacos.
And let's holster your nostalgia and join me to dissect the state of a galaxy that might be fading into legend. Because if Star Wars is in trouble, it's time to talk about why and what it'll take to bring balance back to the fandom.
You suck, jackass!
Howdy, and thanks for clicking on this video to see what this jackass has to say. I appreciate you. So before we get into the good stuff, please do me a favor and smash that like button, share this video with a friend, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything this dumbass has to say.
Luke, I am your father.
Star Wars didn't just change movies, it changed us. Back in 1977, George Lucas dropped A New Hope like a thermal detonator. Mythic good versus evil, jaw-dropping visuals, and characters you couldn't help but root for. Luke, Han, Leia, they were archetypes. The Force, Jedi, Sith, it tapped into something primal. Add John Williams' score and you've got a cultural juggernaut. The prequels, sure they were flawed. Jar Jar was a choice. But they expanded the universe. Epic duels, political intrigue, Anakin's tragic fall. Fans debated midichlorians over beers, but we showed up. Why? Star Wars was ours, a shared language, a saga that endured because it respected its roots while daring to grow.
What if someone else beside you came to you and said, I want to make episode 7? Could you see that happening?
No.
No, absolutely, positively, you're really closing the door without any wiggle room whatsoever.
Right. There is no episode 7.
Even for someone else to come up with.
Well, there's possibility there may be another offshoot movie somewhere about an offshoot character in that world.
But not episode
But not about
7.
Luke Skywalker, not about that group of people and that struggle to bring democracy back to the galaxy.
Yeah, George, about that.
I think you're full of shit.
Enter the House of Mouse. In 2012, they bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion and promised to carry the torch. The Force Awakens was a solid start, familiar but fun, and it at least set things into motion. But then things got weird. The Last Jedi split the fandom like a lightsaber through butter. Some called it bold, others a betrayal. Me, I call it hot dog shit. Rise of Skywalker tried to glue it back together, but ended up a narrative dumpster fire. Seriously, Palpatine is Rey's grandpappy?
Couldn't think of anything better than that.
And then the Disney Plus shows. The Mandalorian gave us Baby Yoda and hope. It was basically a license to print money. But the Book of Boba Fett was a total snooze. Obi-Wan Kenobi, underwhelming. Ahsoka, did anyone finish it? The Acolyte, hey, it was great YouTube content.
The power of many.
Skeleton Crew, I'd bet my left boot more people watched paint dry than tuned into that show. And honestly, it wasn't half bad. Here's the problem: oversaturation. Disney's churning out content like a droid assembly line, and it's totally diluting the magic. Star Wars used to be an event, now it's just there. Like a streaming app you scroll past, apathy sinking in, fandom's vocal, but the casual fans, they're totally checking out. So Star Wars Celebration 2025 in Japan that just happened. There was a big moment. Ryan Gosling and Shawn Levy announced Star Wars Starfighter, hitting theaters Memorial Day 2027. Gosling's a legit star, Barbie, Blade Runner 2049, and Levy's coming off Deadpool and Wolverine. Honestly, on paper, this sounds promising. Set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker, it's a standalone, not tied to the Skywalker saga. It's not a prequel or a sequel. The rumor has it Gosling's playing a pilot. Shocker given the title. Gee, wonder if there'll be dogfights in space. Kathleen Kennedy hinted at sequel trilogy cameos, maybe Rey or Finn, but it's mostly new characters. It's got potential for heart and adventure, but I'm wondering if this will feel like Star Wars or just another sci-fi flick with a logo slapped on it. Now for the bantha in the room. Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm's president since 2012, and there's no way around it. she's a lightning rod. There's some that like her, I get it. They praise her for expanding the universe. Others say she's torching George's legacy. She's pushed projects like The Acolyte, which felt like it was made for her, not the fans. Meanwhile, fan-favorite ideas like a gritty Boba Fett movie get shelved or botched. Her defenders say she's navigating a toxic fandom. And yeah, some fans can be intense, but dismissing criticism as hate ignores legit gripes. She's got a 10 ear for what made Star Wars tick: universal stories, not niche agendas. It's not about politics, it's about storytelling. When you alienate your core audience, you're not leading, you're lecturing. And then there's some of these actors. Look, I get it, social media can be a complete cesspool, but when stars like Daisy Ridley or Amanda Stenberg take shots at fans calling them toxic or bigots, it's like pouring fuel on a fire. Sure, some fans cross lines and that's not cool, but painting everybody with the same brush, that's a choice. It pushes people away from the brand. When Mark Hamill or Harrison Ford ribbed fans, it was playful, not preachy. Today's actors seem to think they're above the audience. Newsflash, Star Wars is the fans. Without us, you're just yelling into the void. This isn't fixing bridges, it's burning them. All right, enough of the bitching. How do we fix this? Well, first, Disney needs to pump those brakes, quality over quantity. It's really not a difficult concept. Make Star Wars an event again. Fewer projects equals bigger impact. Rogue One worked because it told a tight standalone story with stakes. More of that, less filler. Second, may I suggest listening to the fans, not the loudest trolls, but the core audience. Bring back the mythic feel. Jedi, smugglers, epic battles. Don't retcon the originals or lecture us. Tell stories that unite, not divide. Third, give creators freedom, but with guardrails. Hire passionate storytellers like Levy, but pair them with lore experts to keep it authentic. And maybe, just maybe, consider passing the torch from Kennedy to someone with a fresh vision.
Oh my god, yes.
Finally, Starfighter could be a lifeline. If Levy and Gosling deliver a fun, heartfelt adventure that respects the DNA of Star Wars, think Top Gun meets A New Hope. It could win back the apathetic, but if it's another soulless cash grab, we're done. Now, I know some of you are already typing angry comments. Look, I'm not here to dunk on Star Wars for clout. I love this franchise. I grew up with it. But love doesn't mean blind loyalty. If we don't call out the problems, we're just enabling more mediocrity. I, for one, would love to see Star Wars thrive, not just limp along like a half-dead tauntaun. So, I'm gonna throw it to you. Hit me with your thoughts. Civilly, please. Let's talk solutions, not scream fests. I think we can all agree Star Wars is at a crossroads. Starfighter could be A New Hope or another nail in the coffin. Disney, the ball's in your court. Make us care again. To you, the fans, keep the faith, but hold them accountable. Until next time, stay critical, stay nerdy, and may the Force be... You get it. As always, the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone, but what do I know? I'm but a mere jackass. I'll try to do better next time. Catch you later, friends.
That talks too much. I'm just a jackass of all trades. Don't know shit. I'll keep on talking, acting like I'm so legit. From politics to sports, I'll spout.